about that, folks. This is an emergency response video, we're going to call it. And I'm at work. I just got done voting, so it is what it is here. We're just looking at and I may roll back a little bit. We're looking at the new DRZ4. That seems to be their branding on this. I've looked at some preliminary numbers. It's like 18 pounds heavier, allegedly. Obviously, it's got the new dash on here. Some of the pictures I've seen, we can even take a look at it a little bit here. We even look at it here, step it forward a little bit more. Oh, you can see a new head on this thing. It's got a different gas tank. We can see, I think we can go and look at some of the stills that exist here. Something I want to take a look here. Is that rotor smaller? It appears to be a smaller rotor. The exhaust is different, apparently. Traction control. I've seen some people say from their ABS apparently can be turned off for the rear, so you can do wheelies on the SM, but it can be turned off on both the front and the rear on the S model. Obviously a new headlight. That clutch cover appears to be a different size, or different. It appears to be a different clutch cover. Yeah, you can do wheelies on it. Throttle by wire. Yeah, that's a smaller rotor. A little bit of branding. See, there it is. There is the head. We're going to go back to that. And we're going to talk about real quick why that is. Yeah, there we go. So let's look at this head here. Instead of being a well in the center axis, that head's completely different. Let me see if I can move my selection here. Okay, the cases appear to be similar, if not the same. Obviously, we've got a different cover. It appears to be a different cover for the chain. Let's look here. That engine mount, our frame. Thinking about our frame here. Look at there. There's our exhaust there, so there's a bung on that, and you see that there's some routing around here that's a little different. The head seems similar yet different in some ways. Obviously, where your location of your exhaust. Theories on this. Could the stock or some of the exhausts from the previous generations work on this? I don't know. I'm asking questions here. Let's look here. Our emissions. It looks like our emissions are a little different on this. That's probably why they did the head how they did for emissions. And you can see our box over here that obviously handles the servo motor. The servo motor on the fuel injection. Come on here. Fuel injection is going to be a big issue, and that's probably why, with we haven't got a chance to look at our tank, but our weight of our fuel pump, we'll have to look and see how they did that. But obviously you can see here, we have our servo motor, it's alright, the grapes are fine, they're asleep. We're reacting to the live chat. I'm going to try to leave this on here. I want to try to do a little bit more in depth as we get more information. But there's the naughty right there. Let's look in here. Yeah, this head is, I mean, that's probably why they did the head, was because of one, the emissions, but two, being able to adapt it for fuel injection. Our air box. I want to just scroll farther this direction, but you know, I'm just doing a quick reaction, an emergency reaction, if we're going to call it that. Let's look here. Obviously, they didn't include their goofy tail on this, which was a wise decision. Kind of a Euro, I'd call it a Euro style headlight. There's some Gixxer-esque love between those two riders there. Alright, that's what I wanted to look at, is this rear wheel. Oh, come on. There we go. It's kind of a poor quality, but I'm looking for on that rotor ABS sensors, and looks like right there. Yep. There we go. So Shane, that's what she said. Real quick, I'm going to go back to this. Bear with me. I want to see the clutch side case cover. I want to see if kickstart is an option. I'm just looking at the chapters here, or at least trying to get a picture of it. Okay. So it looks like a similar, same fuel filter. The guy's he must be something of a stunner because he's wearing some Vans. But we're looking here and trying to get the details. I'm trying to get the details on this. That appears to be a smaller front rotor, which is kind of silly. Suzuki, what are you doing? But there's got to be a pickup somewhere on that. There's got to be a pickup somewhere. And if you look, we still have or do we? I'm looking for the sensor on the front over here. That may be gone. The one that works as your spacer for your speedo. That might be a part of. That may be a part of the apparatus that is on the cover of the transmission. Would it be possible that we need to have a speedo healer if we do differential or different final drive? This is interesting. Forgive my dirty desk. Alright, so there we have it. There's just my emergency response video here. Check out my new Bison hat. It's in reverse here, but overall reaction is I'm somewhat optimistic. I'm glad that I have a DRZ that is, or you know, we have an international audience here, a Dr. Z or DRZ that is a little bit more modifiable. I am my own programmer, so that's a helpful thing there. So my reaction here is, I mean, I don't like the fact that they added that much more weight. Some of the preliminary information that we got out so far still have a dry sump, still have a in-frame oil, which is a smart thing. That's what makes it still take what we dish out to them. So overall, my reaction is, yeah, I'm glad they gave it a revamp on looks. We knew EFI would hurt. My speculation is, oh, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and look here. I'm going to flip it back around. We have the S model, apparently, and we're going to take a look at that real quick. And I'm just going to let this play through. Come on, turn back around. So they have the S model that they have listed here. They're just calling it the 4. Okay, I mean, some rebranding. I like that. Yeah, they have their different modes. Drive modes. Not good enough. What do you mean there? Yeah, I was hoping for a 450, to be honest with you. I was looking for... You ready? I was looking for something to offset for all the emissions and crap. I'm not a big fan of throttle by wire. Again, this is kind of my emergency reaction. I wanted to go live on here, and we'll go into that a little bit more later on. With the ABS, you know, some people use it, some people don't. That might be something that'll be interesting on this model. You know, I do see inverted forks on this. So yeah, I mean, it could have some good potential here. The problem with EFI is, you know, like we found out on our CRF300Ls, and I think even the early KTM 350s, you know, you ended up with stalling issues. I hope they address that. All right, well, I'm going to stop this real quick and back it up. Again, this is my reaction to it. So what I want to see, okay, this gives, the foot's in the way. I want to see if you can, because that clutch side seems a little different. Okay, there we go. So kick-starting is not going to be an option, because you can see they changed the cases. The cases are different, at least on this side. I'm looking at this, there's not a place to be able to add kickstart. And you can see that it's kind of got the design like the E-model head on this side, sort of. You still have the crankcase ventilation. I kind of like the, I don't know, what is this, this must be a catalytic converter, rather than like a power bomb header, which is what it looks like, but I think that's the cat. So again, this is like a quick and dirty reaction because everybody's been blowing up my phone. So I just wanted to do a quick reaction to all of this. I would have liked to have seen a 450. I would like to get a look at one of these in person and make my own comparisons. But yeah, it does look more modern. So Suzuki, if you're watching or whatever, you can send one to me. I'll dissect it and we'll see where we can go with that. But all right, we'll go back to, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So overall, my reaction is, you know, I'm a little bit apprehensive, but we'll see how they perform. Obviously, I would never myself buy a brand new version, and to be honest with you, I've got 3 of the good versions, and it's ones that I can tune myself. If the aftermarket support is there, I think this is going to take off. This is inevitable. They lasted 25 years, how we knew them, and there's 25 years worth of parts out there. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Hopefully they didn't make them to where they were not, you can't modify them readily. What would be really cool is if their ECU is something that can be hacked and flashed and make it run like it's supposed to, like immediately out of the box without having to cut anything off. Kind of like the old carb jet kit, like the JD jet kit type thing, where you can just flash it and you can go right into fun mode, and make it better and keep it stock. That would be really good. So what I would like for you to do is I'm going to make this one, I'm going to save it, and what we'll do is I'd like to have your reaction to that, get some questions for me, and I'll deep dive into that later on. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and end this. And then with that being said, we'll see you next time, and we'll go a little bit more into depth. This was, again, an emergency reaction. Put your comments down, what you'd like me to address. Make sure and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.